Lovely viewers, welcome back to the channel. Grab your tea or coffee because today's story is one that's got the entire K-drama community buzzing with emotions, questions and theories. It's about Song Joong-ki's recent cryptic message that fans believe was posted right after seeing Song Hye Kyo's new family photos. Yes, you heard that right. Song Hye Kyo's family moments went viral, and within hours, Song Joong-ki dropped something so mysterious and emotional that fans couldn't help but connect the dots. Could this be more than coincidence? Let's dive deep together and unpack everything in this emotional whirlwind that's stirring up waves all over the internet. It all started when Song Hye Kyo shared a set of beautiful family photos online. Pictures that radiated warmth, peace, and pure joy. The images showed her spending quality time with her loved ones, including some adorable snaps that captured candid laughter and affection. Fans were quick to comment on how much brighter she seemed, how her smile looked different, more genuine, more at peace. People said she looked like someone who had finally found healing after years of quiet struggles. But what nobody expected was what would follow just hours later. Song Joong-ki, her ex-husband, posted a message that was short, cryptic, and deeply emotional. It wasn't a direct reference to anyone, yet every word felt like it carried hidden meaning. He posted, "Some memories don't fade, they just learn to live quietly inside you." Those words hit like lightning. Within minutes, the internet exploded with speculation. Fans flooded his comment section asking if he was talking about Song Hye Kyo. Others argued that it might just be a general reflection, but the timing made it impossible to ignore. How could he post something so reflective right after her family photos went viral? It didn't take long before hashtags like #SongJoongKiMessage and #SongHyeKyoFamilyPhotos started trending across Korean and international social media platforms. Lovely viewers, fans who have followed their journey since Descendants of the Sun know the emotional weight this kind of post carries. Song Joong-ki has always been careful with his words, rarely expressing personal emotions in public. So when he does, people pay attention. It wasn't just a random quote. It felt like a quiet whisper from the heart, like something that's been held in for too long. Many longtime fans began revisiting old interviews, comparing his tone now to the way he used to speak about love and loss back then. Some even noticed that the photo accompanying his post, a soft sunset with fading light, symbolized closure or longing. But here's where things get even more intriguing. While Song Hye Kyo's photos were all about family and happiness, fans noticed that she didn't tag anyone or mention any specific location. It gave off a feeling of mystery, almost like she was sharing her joy but protecting her peace. People wondered, was Song Joong-ki moved by seeing her happiness, or did it stir something unresolved in him? Some fans think his message was a subtle acknowledgement, a way of saying he's happy for her, even if from afar. Others believe it was more melancholic, maybe even regretful, a sign that some emotions never truly fade. As discussions grew, one online user wrote, "You can tell when someone still carries a person in their heart. That message wasn't random." Another fan said, "Maybe he saw her happy and it reminded him of what they once had." And perhaps the most popular comment was, "Closure doesn't always come with distance. Sometimes it comes with silence." Doesn't that just make you think, lovely viewers, that even after years of moving on, the heart remembers in quiet ways? Adding fuel to the fire, Song Joong-ki's message came right after he had been relatively quiet online for weeks. He had just wrapped up a busy schedule for a film project and hadn't posted anything personal in quite some time. So the sudden emotional post couldn't have come at a more striking moment. It wasn't an official statement, but in the language of the internet, timing speaks louder than words. Fans started creating theories. Was he missing the old days? Was he reminded of their once beautiful love story that captivated millions? Interestingly, some entertainment insiders hinted that Song Joong-ki had seen the photos through mutual friends. According to one popular fan forum, a source close to both stars claimed that Song Joong-ki was genuinely touched seeing how radiant Song Hye Kyo looked in those moments. If true, that might explain the emotion behind his post. Whether or not that's the case, it's clear his words came from a place of deep reflection. Meanwhile, Song Hye Kyo hasn't responded publicly to the online chatter, but those close to her have shared that she's in a very calm and content phase of her life. She's focusing on her work, her family, and her happiness, away from the noise. Some fans think this balance is what may have struck a chord with Song Joong Ki. After all, seeing someone you once loved thriving can awaken all sorts of emotions. Admiration, nostalgia, maybe even what? Lovely viewers, you and I both know the Song couple's story is one of the most talked about in Korean entertainment history. Their love story began on screen, grew into something magical off-screen, and even though it ended, it left a mark that fans still cherish. So whenever something like this happens, when one of them posts something emotional or reflective, fans can't help but feel drawn back into the story that once defined romance for a whole generation. But could this recent post be more than nostalgia? Some fans believe Song Joong Ki may be realizing that he still holds certain emotions he thought had faded. Others believe it's simply a human moment, a brief wave of memory stirred by something familiar. There's something universal about it, isn't there? How even the strongest among us have quiet moments of reflection when we see someone from our past living their best life. It's not always about longing. Sometimes it's just gratitude for what once was. Still, there are fans who think there might be more going on behind the scenes. Some noted that Song Joong Ki's post disappeared from his story after just 24 hours. Why delete something so profound unless it carried personal weight? Others suggested it was meant to be temporary, a fleeting message for those who would understand its deeper meaning. Fans even compared his current tone to his earlier interviews where he mentioned that some experiences change you forever. "You don't move on from everything," he once said. "You just learn to live with it differently." As speculation continues to swirl, entertainment media outlets in Korea have been cautious about drawing conclusions. They're calling it a moment of coincidence that fans have beautifully interpreted. But deep down, lovely viewers, we know that sometimes coincidences have a way of revealing hidden truths, especially when it comes to emotions as layered as love, loss, and quiet remembrance. Some fans also noticed that Song Joong Ki's choice of song in a recent playlist he liked online was particularly telling. It featured lyrics about watching someone from afar and finding peace in their happiness. Coincidence again? Maybe. Or maybe it's another quiet reflection that speaks louder than words. After his cryptic message went viral, reporters tried to reach out to Song Joong Ki's agency for clarification. As expected, they stayed neutral, simply stating that the actor's post was personal and unrelated to any specific event. But lovely viewers, fans know when something is unrelated yet strangely timed. The message came mere hours after Song Hye Kyo's glowing family pictures began trending, and that's not something the public can easily ignore. The more the agency tried to keep things calm, the more curiosity it fueled. Interestingly, people began noticing subtle signs that Song Joong Ki might still be emotionally connected to Song Hye Kyo's world in small, discreet ways. A fan pointed out that he had recently followed a photography page that shared Song Hye Kyo's pictures from the past, a move that instantly reignited fan theories. Another observant fan noticed that the background music used in one of his recent interviews was the same track that played during one of their emotional scenes in Descendants of the Sun. Coincidence again? Maybe. But to fans who have loved and followed their journey, every small detail feels like a piece of an emotional puzzle. Meanwhile, Song Hye Kyo's recent public appearances have only added to the intrigue. At a charity event held in Seoul, she appeared radiant, dressed elegantly, her aura calm and composed. But fans couldn't help but notice that during one brief moment in the event, a question about happiness and self-growth, she paused for a few seconds longer than usual before responding. "Happiness," she said softly, "comes when you stop searching for what you lost and start cherishing what you have." Those words, simple yet profound, instantly began trending online. Could it have been her subtle response to all the noise surrounding Song Joong Ki's post? Some believe so. Lovely viewers, this emotional back and forth between them, intentional or not, feels almost poetic. Like two souls who once shared everything are now speaking through silence and timing, rather than direct words. It's not the kind of love story that needs a reunion to be powerful. It's one that lingers quietly through glances, gestures, and words that aren't meant for everyone to understand, just for those who feel. And yet, as all of this unfolds, both actors have continued with their professional commitments, showing that life moves forward even when emotions run deep. Song Joong-ki has been working on a new drama that explores themes of regret and forgiveness, a detail that hasn't escaped his fans' attention. During one press event, a journalist asked him how he connects emotionally to his character. He smiled faintly and said, "We all have moments we wish we could revisit, but life doesn't work that way. You just carry those moments with you quietly." Those words felt eerily similar to his earlier message. Some memories don't fade, they just learn to live quietly inside you. It's as if his art and his reality have started blending, creating this emotional portrait of a man reflecting on love, time, and what-ifs. Fans began commenting, saying things like, "He's definitely channeling something personal in this project, and his eyes tell a story that goes beyond acting." On the other side, Song Hye Kyo seems to be in a beautiful space of emotional renewal. She's been spending more time with her family, and her posts reflect peace and gratitude. She hasn't made any direct statements about Song Joong-ki's post, but she doesn't need to. Her happiness speaks for itself. One fan beautifully put it, "Sometimes peace is the loudest answer you can give to someone who once broke your heart." Still, that doesn't mean she's completely immune to the waves of nostalgia either. In a behind-the-scenes clip from her recent photo shoot, she was asked what inspires her when she looks back on her journey. Her response, "Memories are treasures even when they hurt. They remind us that we lived fully." The internet erupted again, with fans wondering if that was her way of acknowledging the shared past that once defined her. Lovely viewers, you can feel the emotional tension without either of them saying a word directly. It's like two parallel lines running close but never touching, yet still sharing the same air. It's hauntingly beautiful. Some fans even created emotional fan edits comparing their old photos with their recent lives, captioned with quotes like, "Different paths, same moon." The videos have gathered millions of views in just days, proving that the Song legacy remains untouchable. But here's the most touching part. Fans who were once heartbroken over their separation are now finding healing in how both stars have evolved. Many say that Song Joong-ki's message wasn't a cry of pain but a gentle nod to closure, a way of saying thank you to someone who helped shape his past. Others believe that it's a reminder that love doesn't have to end in reunion to still matter. It can exist in memory, in gratitude, in mutual respect from afar. Still, a few whispers online have dared to ask, could this emotional exchange open the door for reconnection someday? It's not impossible. In the entertainment world, time has a funny way of changing things. Hearts soften, perspectives evolve, and sometimes, what once seemed final can find new meaning years later. While nothing concrete points toward a reconciliation, fans can't help but dream, remembering how natural and pure their connection once was. For now, though, what we're witnessing feels like something even deeper, a spiritual kind of closure that happens when two people acknowledge each other's happiness from different sides of the world. It's maturity, it's growth, and it's undeniably emotional. Song Joong-ki's cryptic message has become more than just an Instagram post. It's become a symbol of how love transforms but never truly dies. Lovely viewers, as we continue following this emotional story, it's hard not to feel moved by how time has reshaped both of them. Whether you believe his post was about her or not, there's no denying that Song Hye Kyo's recent photos and Song Joong-ki's reflections have reminded us of something universal. Love may fade from sight, but never from soul. And maybe that's the quiet truth behind all this buzz. Maybe the message wasn't meant to stir the internet. It was just a moment of emotional honesty from a man who once loved deeply and now loves differently. Maybe it was his way of saying, "I remember, but I wish you peace." As fans, all we can do is watch, respect, and appreciate how both Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo continue to live with grace, carrying their past not as a burden, but as a chapter that helped them become who they are today. Their story reminds us that even when love changes form, it never loses its power to touch hearts, especially ours. Since that emotional storm took over the internet, Both stars have been going about their lives as if untouched by the frenzy, but we, their loyal fans, know better. We can feel the undercurrents. Song Joong-ki has been spotted a few times by fans while out for coffee or arriving at events, and many said he seemed unusually introspective, calm, polite, but with an unmistakable hint of pensiveness in his eyes. He's always had that emotional depth, but lately, fans say there's something softer in his aura, like someone who's been reminded of a memory he thought he'd left behind. And what's even more heart-stirring is that not long after that cryptic post disappeared from his story, Song Joong-ki shared a new photo, a scenic view of a blooming garden with the caption, "New beginnings often come disguised as endings." Now, tell me, lovely viewers, doesn't that just sound like the continuation of a thought he didn't finish before? It's almost poetic, like he's slowly telling a story piece by piece, through moments instead of words. Fans immediately linked it back to his earlier post about memories that don't fade. Together, those words seem to paint a picture of acceptance, of love remembered but not lost. Meanwhile, Song Hye Kyo, gracefully silent as always, posted another serene set of pictures that had everyone talking once again. This time it wasn't family photos. It was her sitting near a window, sunlight streaming in, with a cup of tea beside her and a faint, thoughtful smile on her face. The caption read, "Peace is the most beautiful gift." The moment that post went live, fans couldn't help but connect it with everything that's been unfolding. Felt like an answer not in words but in emotion, almost as if she was saying, "I see it, I understand, but I'm at peace." The synchronicity between their posts hasn't gone unnoticed. Fans are calling it a silent conversation, a dialogue that only they understand, one that travels through time, memory, and maybe even through hearts that never truly stopped beating for each other. People are saying that even if there are no direct interactions, their energies seem to echo in similar ways. It's almost as if they're living parallel emotional journeys that somehow align, even now. Lovely viewers, doesn't that just make you think? How two people, once deeply connected, can still send ripples through each other's lives without ever saying a word. That's the kind of connection that doesn't just fade away with distance or time. Transforms, but it never dies. And maybe that's what we're seeing unfold right now. Two souls acknowledging in the quietest ways that their story still exists somewhere in the background of their hearts. What's even more touching is how fans have turned this moment into a space of reflection about love and forgiveness. Social media is full of heartfelt posts from people sharing their own stories about lost love, healing, and acceptance. Many of them saying that Song Joong-ki's words made them realize that it's okay to remember someone fondly, even if they're no longer part of your life. Some even said, "His message felt like something we've all felt but couldn't say." That's the power of sincerity. It connects people beyond the boundaries of fame. But, lovely viewers, something else interesting has been happening quietly in the background. Reports surfaced that Song Joong-ki was recently offered a script for a melodrama, one that centers on a man who reunites with his first love years later after life takes them down different paths. And guess who fans immediately began dreaming about as his co-star? As Song Hye Kyo. The moment that rumor spread, fan pages went wild. Comments flooded social media with messages like, "Please, just one more project together," and "It's time for a full circle moment." While nothing has been confirmed officially, the buzz around this potential reunion has reignited that familiar hope in fans' hearts, the same one that's never quite gone away. Song Hye Kyo, on the other hand, has also been reading scripts for her next project. According to some reports, she's looking for a story that reflects maturity, inner peace, and emotional rebirth. Doesn't that sound almost like her real life right now? It's as if art is mirroring life once again, and everything they both do somehow carries echoes of the emotions we've all seen playing out between them. Lovely viewers, if you followed their journey from the very beginning, you know their story isn't just about love. It's about timing, fate, and the ways two people can influence each other's growth even after walking separate roads.